could I just see you for everybody? All this recommending meeting of 18th to order. Are we in compliance with the open meeting law?
Yes, we are.
This meeting has been posted in various locations throughout the city. The item we will consider first is Bill number 2008-3, adopts an updated Parks and Recreation element of the Las Vegas 2020 Master Plan, proposed by M. Margot Wheeler, Director of Planning and Development.
Thank you, Councilwoman. This item has already gone through public hearings of course, the Planning Commission and the City Council. This is bringing it back to you simply in bill form. Val Steed has prepared the bill for you. We delayed it to have it vetted yet again by other departments to make sure that everything was as they wished and we didn't have any internal conflicts. As it turned out, we did not need to make any changes, and so we're bringing it back to you today to bring forward in bill form.
All right.
No changes?
Well, the change, I'm sorry, no, we did some, but that last change we didn't do. That's right, I'm
Okay.
sorry. Right, we had one final one. There were a couple of changes that we did that, again, we're working with Public Works and Field Ops with regard to some clarifications on some maps and charts. But for instance, the maintenance schedule was a question, and we have left that the same to ensure that the maintenance schedule is part of the plan.
Did you have any comments?
I was just going to say that even though the ordinance itself won't change because we have new backup, it'll be a First Amendment, but I recommend you go ahead and
So it
send
will be a
on.
First Amendment.
Yes.
Recommended to
Thank
send
you.
on. Anybody of the public who's not here? Do they want to make a statement? All right, then. Councilman Barlow.
Yes, I would like to move for due pass
First
With
Amendment.
Fifth.
with First Amendment.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And it passes to move forward. Moving to the next item, Bill number 2008-15 sets forth the authority and standards by which the city requires and processes certain fingerprint checks concerning prospective employees of the city and concerning applicants for work cards under certain business license categories, proposed by Bradford R. Jervik, City Attender.
I'll make an initial presentation on this. We were informed by the FBI that we needed to indicate by ordinance the authority under which we require either prospective employees or work card applicants under certain categories to have a national fingerprint check that goes through the FBI database. We've been doing that as a matter of policy for years, and there's even in our ordinances some indication that that would happen, but the FBI, I guess, is tightening up on the availability of its records, and so they wanted specific language set forth in ordinance, and so that's what this does, is it talks about our requiring prospective employees to have a background check. It recites the exact language the FBI has requested, same thing for certain work card categories. It's come to my attention that we may have additional licensing-related categories where we, either as a matter of policy or historically, have asked the FBI. We may need to come back with another bill to put that into line. We'll check with the FBI and see what they say about that. But for now, we need to go ahead and get this adopted, so we recommend approval.
Basically, we have been doing this in the past, but now we're making it a formal ordinance.
Right. The FBI just wants to see that we are serious about the request so that they know that there's a legal basis for it. And so we're simply reciting what it is that we do and using their language.
Did you have any questions?
Yes. What are the categories, not categories, but the positions that we require currently for background checks
You mean for employment?
for employment?
I don't know. It's my understanding that we had the ability to ask for that on all applicants.
It says that.
I don't know if we actually do it in practice, but the policy is that we are authorized to ask all applicants for background check.
It says on that first page under
And
A.
I don't, like I say, I don't know if there are categories where we don't in practice, but the authority is there for us to do it for everyone.
The reason why I asked is because applicants for a work card for the following are subject to the provisions of section 6.86.060, and it only lists 3.
Right. Those are licensed categories as opposed to city employees.
Okay, so this is in addition to.
Right. Section 1 is about city employment. Section 2 is about work cards for licensees.
Okay, so section 1.
Yeah.
So every applicant that applies to the city of Las Vegas will be subject,
And has been.
and has been,
And has been. Yeah.
but under a new ordinance.
Right. We
it
don't
will be in
typically
place.
put into ordinance all the things that we do,
Right.
but the FBI says we need to see it in writing, so that's what we've done.
Okay, great.
Any questions from anybody else or from the audience?
Councilwoman Tarkanian and Councilman Barlow, I just wanted to sort of echo what Mr. Steed has said. There are many categories in business licensing that I'm working with Metro on to see if we need to add any categories of business licensing to this bill eventually in the future for employees of those businesses to come forward for FBI fingerprinting. The reason we're concerned is that we have many business license categories that essentially employ transient people that come into Las Vegas and work, and we don't have the capability right now of finding out what kind of criminal background they have. The FBI fingerprinting at some point in time, if it applies to these new categories, will find out if they have any criminal record in Ohio or wherever they came from last, so that we can be readily assured that the employees that represent these businesses that have privileged licenses are going to be forthright individuals and at least represent their businesses as privileged licensees the way we want to have them represented here in the city of Las Vegas. So we may be coming back at a later date with an amended bill to add different categories.
Thank you.
Do you wish to make a motion?
I would move for due pass.
All in favor?
Aye.
The item moves forward. Going to the next item on the agenda, Bill number 2008-16 adopts the latest revision to the uniform regulations for the control of drainage, proposed by Charles Kachowski, Director of Public Works.
Yes, Committee, this bill is at the request of both the Federal Emergency Management Agency and the Clark County Regional Flood Control District. From time to time, they need to update their regulations to reflect changes in the flood maps, as well as definitions, new kinds of uses. It's been some time since we updated our version. Actually, it's not our version. It's just a manual that everyone adopts that it's written, and they've asked us to go ahead and adopt the latest one. So that's what this bill does. It's not in front of you. It's not one of those kind where you see it, but I can just represent that they've added a couple of definitions. They've changed maps. It's essentially what Clark County has already adopted, and so we recommend approval. The reason we have to adopt it verbatim is that that's what makes people in the city eligible for federal and state funds when flooding does occur. The requirement of statute is that we have adopted the uniform regulations that the Flood Control District has adopted. So recommend
And that's what
approval.
this covers.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
We have a motion?
Open it up for discussion.
Oh, sorry. Does anybody else here in the audience wish to discuss? Do we have a motion?
Yes, I would like to move for due pass.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The motion passes. And now this is the time when we have an opportunity for anybody in the audience or the public to speak. If you want to say anything, you can. I don't see anybody from the public, so I'm not hearing anything from the public, so the meeting's adjourned.
Thank you.